my daughter Eleanor, who's now my partner in Maiden Voyage, and I knew she had tremendous instinct when she kept convincing me to read the book, and I refused. I said, I'm not interested in this kind of book. I want to read Grapes of Wrath. I was full of myself, and finally I read the book, and I realized, oh my God, there's a great film here. So I called my agent, and I said, I think this is a movie I would love to direct. She said, yeah, you and 30 other people. I said, well, is there any way I can get a meeting? She said, yeah, I can get you a meeting with Warner Brothers. And I said to her, make sure I get the last meeting. I want to be the last director in the room. She didn't understand why, but I got the script and I spent 8 days rewriting the script. Now, I didn't have to rewrite Steve Kloves' script. What I did is I wrote a director's version where I added camera angles and how I was going to shoot the script. And I walked into the meeting and I said, I've rewritten the script for you for free. No one else in Hollywood would do this, so you can see what I'm going to do with the movie. So I started the meeting like that. It was a brash thing to do, but in the long run, it worked out. I got the job. Casting process was difficult because we had the eyes of the world on us. The books were extremely popular, and everyone wanted to know who's playing Harry Potter. We looked at hundreds of tapes, and Daniel was the person that I saw David Copperfield. He had a small role in David Copperfield, and even seeing that, I remember calling David Heyman and I said, this kid, Daniel Radcliffe, I want to see him. And David said his family is not interested in him being in the movie. So there was that process. But eventually, Daniel agreed to screen, and I thought Daniel had this haunted quality about him that none of the other kids had. Harry Potter had a haunted quality. Both of his parents had been killed. So he was walking around carrying this tragedy, and I felt that Daniel had that. The first time Daniel had a major scene in the film happened to be the scene where he is leaving Hogwarts and going home. So we shot the end of the film first. I remember placing the camera in position, and Daniel says, I'm not going home, not really. And we were all very moved at that point. We couldn't explain why, but there was something in his performance. Again, it captured that haunted quality. He delivered that line as if he had lived, 60 years or something. And it was improbable that an 11-year-old could have that kind of complexity in a performance. And we didn't know it at the time. We just knew that we were moved by what he did. And at that point, I knew we cast the perfect kid for Harry Potter. Alan had had the opportunity to sit, maybe have dinner with J.K. Rowling, so he knew exactly where his character was going from day one. He was not allowed to tell any of us what he knew. So it was frustrating for me as a director because there were some choices that he would be making as an actor, and I didn't understand why he was going there. Choices where he would let his guard down a little as Snape, and I didn't understand why. I would say, Alan, why did you do that on that last take? And he goes, I can't tell you.